Introduction: Seeing life through the lens of the mind. Each of us lives in our own world, not merely shaped by external circumstances, but more deeply by how we think, feel, and react to what happens in life. Two people can go through the same event, but one feels peace while the other suffers. Why is that? Buddhism teaches, the mind precedes all things. It is the master, it creates. This means, the mind is the key factor that determines how we see life and how we live it. So, if we want to change our lives, the first step isn't to change the world outside, but to train the mind, to learn to see life through the eyes of awareness, compassion, and wisdom. Lesson 1. The mind is the seed of reality. 1. Every thought is a seed. Imagine your mind as a garden, and each thought as a seed you plant every day. When you think with kindness, confidence, and patience, you're planting good seeds. On the other hand, if you constantly feed anger, resentment, or anxiety, you're planting toxic ones. The key is, every seed will sprout in time. What you think today will affect your emotions, actions, and experiences tomorrow. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. 2. The mind stores and programs your reality. If you repeatedly think, "I'm not good enough," or "life is meaningless," over time your mind will begin to believe it. You'll start to see the world through a negative lens and act accordingly. On the contrary, if you regularly think, "I'm growing every day," or "every challenge is a lesson," your mind will grow stronger and more positive. This is not wishful thinking, it's the science of repetition and subconscious programming. 3. Observing the mind is the first step to transformation. The first step to mastering your mind is to observe it. When a negative thought arises, instead of clinging to or believing it, you can gently notice it, smile, and let it go. Like a gardener, you need to know which seeds to plant, and which weeds to remove. Backhand index pointing right mindfulness meditation is a powerful tool to help you recognize these mental seeds, and choose to nurture those that bring peace, clarity, and compassion. In summary, your mind is like fertile soil, whatever you plant will grow. Each thought has the power to shape your emotions, your actions, and your entire life. So, choose your thoughts the way a wise gardener chooses good seeds. If you want to change your life, begin by changing your mind. Lesson 2. Choose what you take in, guard the gates of your senses. 1. What are you feeding your mind every day through your eyes, ears, and thoughts? Just as the body needs food, the mind digests everything it sees, hears, and thinks. What you read, the videos you watch, the music you listen to, the conversations you engage in, even the environment you're in, are all mental food. If you're constantly exposed to violent images, negativity, fear-based news, or toxic speech, then even without realizing it, your mind is being slowly poisoned. On the other hand, if you choose to take in beauty, kindness, wise words, and inspiration, your mind will gradually become lighter, clearer, and more grounded. Your mind becomes the result of what you allow it to absorb each day. 2. The senses are gateways, you are the gatekeeper. In Buddhism, there's the teaching of guarding the 6 sense doors, that is eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Each sense is a gateway through which the world enters your consciousness. What do your eyes look at? What sounds enter your ears? What thoughts are circling in your mind? If you are unaware and allow anything to come in freely, it's like leaving your house unlocked and inviting thieves inside. A wise person isn't someone who closes themselves off, but someone who carefully chooses what to take in. They know how to say no to things that are harmful to their inner peace, no matter how exciting, sensational, or popular they may be. 3. The mind is like soft earth. Anything that falls on it leaves a mark. When your mind lacks mindfulness and wisdom, it becomes like soft, wet soil. Everything that passes through it leaves an imprint. A single judgmental comment can hurt your confidence for a week. A provocative image can haunt your mind for hours. An angry video can stir up irritation long after it ends. That's why being mindful about what you take in is a true act of self-love. 4. How to filter what you allow into your mind. Be mindful when using social media, phones, or TV. Don't watch things just because you're bored. Choose your friends and company wisely. Positive people transmit positive energy. Feed your mind with good content. Read meaningful books, listen to Dharma talks, meditate. Ask yourself, does this nourish my mind or drain it? If not, walk away. To sum up, you can't control the world, but you can control what you allow into your consciousness. Be a wise gatekeeper to the doors of your senses, because what you take in today shapes the person you become tomorrow. To keep the mind pure is to keep your entire life in light. Thich Nhat Hanh. Lesson 3. Stop automatic thinking. The hidden source of your suffering. 1. Are you thinking consciously, or being dragged by your thoughts? Most of us are not thinking consciously, but instead caught up in a stream of automatic thoughts from the moment we wake up until we fall asleep. Have you noticed that while washing dishes, your mind is already on work? While eating, you're thinking about tomorrow. When sitting still, your mind continues talking by itself. This shows that you are not in control of your mind. It's being driven by old, repetitive patterns, anxiety, regret, comparison, judgment, daydreaming. 2. Automatic thinking is the result of unconscious mental habits. The mind is like a machine with preloaded programs. These programs are built from the past, fears, memories, limiting beliefs, biases, etc. When you're not mindful, the machine runs on autopilot, replaying familiar themes. I'm not good enough. They're better than me. What if something bad happens tomorrow? I wish I could go back to the past. Even though you're physically in the present, the mind pulls you into the past or projects you into the future, so you're never truly here and now. 3. You are not your thoughts, you are the one who observes them. One of the biggest misunderstandings is, I am what I think. But the truth is, you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness that observes them. When you start observing your thoughts instead of being swept away by them, you'll begin to see, I'm worrying about the future again. I'm feeling irritated for no clear reason. Wait, this is just a thought, not reality. In that moment of awareness, your thoughts lose their grip on you. You're no longer carried away unconsciously like before. 4. Stopping thinking doesn't mean having no thoughts at all. Don't confuse stopping thoughts with forcing the mind to go blank. That's not realistic. Instead, to stop means, don't let the mind run automatically. Recognize when it starts wandering. Gently bring it back to the present. Mindfulness is the key to doing this. Whenever you're fully present in what you're doing, breathing, walking, washing dishes, drinking tea, the mind naturally slows down. 5. Practice. Slow down and observe. Whenever you notice your mind wandering, pause for 3 seconds and take a conscious breath. Ask yourself, what am I thinking? Where is it coming from? Is it useful? If it's not useful, breathe it out and let it go. Return to the present. Notice sounds, body sensations, footsteps, breath. The more you repeat this, the more your mind becomes calm, clear, and free from hidden burdens. In summary, thoughts are tools, they are not your master. If you don't observe them, they will control you. If you awaken, you reclaim your power over them. Stopping is not weakness. Stopping is clarity. And in clarity, you find freedom. Inspired by Thich Nhat Hanh. Lesson 4. Turn difficulties into opportunities for practice. 1. Suffering is an inevitable part of life. In life, challenges and suffering are inevitable. Whether it's losing a job, dealing with illness, losing a loved one, or facing personal setbacks, pain and difficulty are universal experiences. In Buddhism, suffering is acknowledged as a fundamental part of the human experience, and it's even included as the first of the Four Noble Truths. This doesn't mean that we should accept suffering as something inevitable without hope, but rather, we are encouraged to transform the way we view and respond to suffering. 2. Our typical response: avoidance and resistance. Most people, when faced with suffering or challenges, instinctively try to avoid or resist them. We might think, "Why is this happening to me? I don't deserve this pain. I wish I could escape this." These reactions come from a natural instinct to avoid discomfort and seek pleasure. But avoiding or resisting suffering only leads to greater anxiety, frustration, and often, more suffering in the long run. 3. The Buddhist perspective: embrace and learn from suffering. Buddhism teaches that instead of resisting suffering, we can embrace it and see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Rather than viewing challenges as obstacles to happiness, we are encouraged to view them as tools for spiritual development. Suffering, in this context, becomes a teacher, one that can guide us toward deeper self-awareness, wisdom, and compassion. Examples of transforming suffering into an opportunity. Patience. When we experience frustration or delay, it's a chance to practice patience, a key virtue in Buddhism. Letting go of attachments. When we lose something precious to us, it's a powerful opportunity to practice non-attachment, realizing that everything is impermanent. Resilience. When facing hardships, we can build emotional strength and resilience, which helps us grow as individuals. 4. Reframe suffering, change your perspective. Instead of seeing suffering as something to avoid, we can reframe it as a lesson or opportunity for growth. When faced with difficulty, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What is this situation teaching me about myself? How can I transform this challenge into something positive? This shift in perspective helps you build resilience. Instead of being consumed by negativity, you start to see opportunities in every difficulty. Challenges that once felt like setbacks now become stepping stones toward personal and spiritual growth. 5. The role of mindfulness and meditation in transforming suffering. In Buddhism, mindfulness and meditation are crucial tools for transforming suffering. When we practice mindfulness, we observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. Notice the discomfort, don't push it away. Acknowledge the emotions, whether it's sadness, fear, anger, or frustration. Observe them calmly, without becoming overwhelmed or reacting impulsively. Breathe deeply, allowing the emotion to pass naturally. By practicing mindfulness in moments of difficulty, you can learn to face adversity with clarity, equanimity, and compassion. 6. Practical steps to turn suffering into practice. Pause and reflect. In the middle of a challenge, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? Cultivate patience. Rather than rushing through difficult moments, practice being patient with yourself and others. Patience is not just about waiting but learning to stay calm and centered through challenges. Practice non-attachment. Recognize that everything in life is temporary. Embrace change and understand that suffering often comes from our attachment to things, people, or situations that we cannot control. Look for the silver lining. Even in pain, there can be a valuable lesson. For example, a loss might teach you gratitude or help you develop greater empathy for others. Use suffering to deepen your practice. Each time you face a difficult situation, treat it as an opportunity to practice what you have learned through your meditation or mindfulness. This could be compassion, resilience, forgiveness, or self-awareness. 7. Transform your life with this mindset. When you change your relationship with suffering, you transform your life. Instead of being stuck in a cycle of resentment, bitterness, or fear, you become someone who can face life's inevitable challenges with calm, wisdom, and grace. Every challenge is an opportunity for the heart to grow. Buddhist teaching. By practicing this approach consistently, you will notice a shift in how you handle adversity. Instead of being overwhelmed, you'll feel empowered to face whatever comes your way. In summary, suffering is part of the human experience, but we don't have to be its victim. We can choose to transform suffering into an opportunity for growth, using mindfulness, patience, and a new perspective on the challenges life presents. Every difficulty is a chance to deepen our practice, and through that, we can move closer to enlightenment, peace, and happiness. Lesson 6. Visualize what you want to achieve. 1. Every achievement begins in the mind. In Buddhism there is a saying, "The mind is the forerunner of all things." The mind is the master, the mind creates. This means that everything you do, achieve, or experience in life begins with a thought. If you never imagined it, never dreamed of it, never set the intention for it, it is unlikely to become your reality. The mind is like soil, and your visualization is the seed. When you continuously nourish that seed with consistency, emotion, and faith, it will have the chance to grow into reality. 2. Visualization is not daydreaming, it is a mindful direction. Many people mistake visualizing what you want for wishful thinking or fantasy. In fact, true visualization is a skill rooted in mindfulness and clarity. You clearly know what you want. You see it vividly in your mind. You feel the emotions of having achieved it. You align your daily choices and actions toward that vision. For example, if you visualize a life of simplicity, peace, freedom, and mindfulness, then each day, you'll choose to live more simply, meditate more often, slow down, and align with that vision. Gradually, you'll manifest it. 3. Why visualization is powerful. Visualization is a combination of thought, emotion, and mental energy. When you consistently visualize something with sincerity and trust, your mind becomes familiar with that image. Your behavior begins to naturally align toward that goal. You begin to attract opportunities, people, and situations that resonate with the energy you're projecting. Science has also shown that the brain does not strongly differentiate between something vividly imagined and something actually happening. Therefore, if you regularly visualize positive outcomes, you'll naturally live in a more positive state. 4. How to visualize effectively and mindfully. A. Clearly know what you want. First, define. What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of person do you want to become? What inner qualities do you want to cultivate? Avoid vague wishes like, "I want to be happy," or "I want to be rich." Be specific. I want to live a simple life, have time to meditate every day, be free from anxiety, and spread kindness to others. B. Visualize with all your senses. When visualizing, engage your imagination along with your emotions. See the image clearly, colors, space, movement. Hear the sounds, sense the smells, feel the light. What emotions will you feel once you've achieved it? Peace, joy, gratitude, Authentic emotion is the most powerful fuel for visualization. C. Combine with meditation. You can practice a visualization meditation like this. Sit still, breathe deeply, and relax your body. When your mind calms down, start visualizing what you wish to achieve. Don't force it, let the image come naturally. Feel as though it is already happening in the present moment. End with a positive affirmation such as, I am grateful that I am living in alignment with my heart's intention. 5. Wholesome intentions generate wholesome karma. If what you visualize is wholesome, ethical, and aligned with genuine happiness, then it will create positive karma that supports its realization. On the other hand, if your visualization stems from greed, ego, or harmful intent, it may result in future suffering. That's why it's important to always reflect on and refine your intentions. 6. Don't just visualize, act in alignment. Visualization is the beginning. Action is what brings it to life. If your actions don't support your vision, it will remain an illusion. Examples. If you visualize inner peace but live in constant hurry and anger, you're not nourishing your vision. If you visualize yourself as a kind person, you must practice kindness, patience, and listening in daily life. Your mind, speech, and action must be aligned for your visualization to come true. In summary, visualizing what you want to achieve is a powerful mindfulness practice. When you clearly know your intention, visualize it with heartfelt emotion, and act in alignment with it, you are planting a beautiful seed in the universe. If your mind can clearly see something, and you live aligned with that vision every day, the universe will guide you there. Lesson 7. Practicing gratitude every day. 1. Gratitude opens the door to peace. In daily life, we are easily swept away by worries, restlessness, and things that don't go our way. We often forget how many blessings we already have. Gratitude is not just a feeling that arises by chance, it is an attitude of life that can be cultivated each day. When gratitude arises in the mind, we are immediately brought back to the present moment. We begin to clearly see the goodness that is already here, and from that, a deep joy naturally arises. 2. Why is gratitude important in the practice? Gratitude cultivates humility. When we realize that our existence is the result of countless conditions, our parents, teachers, friends, even the sun and rain, we become humble. We no longer cling to arrogance or constantly blame life. Gratitude transforms suffering. A person who is angry or resentful cannot simultaneously feel grateful. When we return to gratitude, those negative feelings begin to dissolve. Gratitude nurtures compassion. When we deeply appreciate what we have, we also become more open-hearted and generous toward others. Loving kindness arises naturally. 3. Simple things to be grateful for every day. Gratitude doesn't need to come from something big. Every day, we can practice being grateful for simple, ordinary things. Grateful to simply wake up in the morning, breathe, and be alive. Grateful for a bowl of rice or a cup of water, made possible by many hands. Grateful for this body, even if it's not perfect, still trying its best. Grateful for a person who listened to you, even just briefly. Grateful for sunshine or rain, both essential for life. When you look at life through the lens of gratitude, everything becomes more vibrant, more complete, and the sense of lack begins to fade. 4. How to practice daily gratitude. A. Keep a gratitude journal. Each night before bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for from that day. They don't have to be big, just be sincere. Examples. Had dinner with family. A stranger smiled at me. Beautiful weather made commuting easy. Writing daily helps shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. B. Breathe with gratitude. With each in-breath and out-breath, silently say to yourself, "Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this life." Breath is the foundation of life. When you're truly grateful for each breath, you'll feel more deeply connected to the miracle of being alive. C. Express gratitude to others. Instead of keeping it in your heart, say, "Thank you," more often, to your parents, friends, colleagues, or even strangers who help in small ways. A timely "thank you" can soften hearts, both yours and theirs. 5. Gratitude in difficult situations. As your practice deepens, you may begin to feel grateful even for hardships, because they become opportunities to grow in compassion, equanimity, and patience. Grateful to someone who hurt you, they helped reveal your own attachments. Grateful for failure, it teaches humility and letting go. Grateful for pain, it reminds you to care for your body and mind properly. When you see the value in difficulties, they lose their power to control you. 6. Gratitude generates positive energy. Every time you practice gratitude, you emit a positive energetic frequency. It calms your mind. It warms the hearts of others. It attracts more goodness into your life. The universe always responds to the energy you radiate. The more gratitude you offer, the more you'll feel supported and loved by life itself. In summary, practicing daily gratitude is a simple yet profound spiritual practice. It helps you recognize what's already good, while also transforming negative emotions, nurturing compassion, and opening the heart. Every time you feel grateful and full, you are taking one step closer to awakening. Lesson 7. Practicing gratitude every day. 1. Gratitude opens the door to peace. In daily life, we are easily swept away by worries, restlessness, and things that don't go our way. We often forget how many blessings we already have. Gratitude is not just a feeling that arises by chance, it is an attitude of life that can be cultivated each day. When gratitude arises in the mind, we are immediately brought back to the present moment. We begin to clearly see the goodness that is already here, and from that, a deep joy naturally arises. 2. Why is gratitude important in the practice? Gratitude cultivates humility. When we realize that our existence is the result of countless conditions, our parents, teachers, friends, even the sun and rain, we become humble. We no longer cling to arrogance or constantly blame life. Gratitude transforms suffering. A person who is angry or resentful cannot simultaneously feel grateful. When we return to gratitude, those negative feelings begin to dissolve. Gratitude nurtures compassion. When we deeply appreciate what we have, we also become more open-hearted and generous toward others. Loving kindness arises naturally. 3. Simple things to be grateful for every day. Gratitude doesn't need to come from something big. Every day, we can practice being grateful for simple, ordinary things. Grateful to simply wake up in the morning, breathe, and be alive. Grateful for a bowl of rice or a cup of water, made possible by many hands. Grateful for this body, even if it's not perfect, still trying its best. Grateful for a person who listened to you, even just briefly. Grateful for sunshine or rain, both essential for life. When you look at life through the lens of gratitude, everything becomes more vibrant, more complete, and the sense of lack begins to fade. 4. How to practice daily gratitude. A. Keep a gratitude journal. Each night before bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for from that day. They don't have to be big, just be sincere. Examples: had dinner with family. A stranger smiled at me. Beautiful weather made commuting easy. Writing daily helps shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. B. Breathe with gratitude. With each in-breath and out-breath, silently say to yourself, "Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this life." Breath is the foundation of life. When you're truly grateful for each breath, you'll feel more deeply connected to the miracle of being alive. C. Express gratitude to others. Instead of keeping it in your heart, say, "Thank you," more often, to your parents, friends, colleagues, or even strangers who help in small ways. A timely "thank you" can soften hearts, both yours and theirs. 5. Gratitude in difficult situations. As your practice deepens, you may begin to feel grateful even for hardships, because they become opportunities to grow in compassion, equanimity, and patience. Grateful to someone who hurt you, they helped reveal your own attachments. Grateful for failure, it teaches humility and letting go. Grateful for pain, it reminds you to care for your body and mind properly. When you see the value in difficulties, they lose their power to control you. 6. Gratitude generates positive energy. Every time you practice gratitude, you emit a positive energetic frequency. It calms your mind. It warms the hearts of others. It attracts more goodness into your life. The universe always responds to the energy you radiate. The more gratitude you offer, the more you'll feel supported and loved by life itself. In summary, practicing daily gratitude is a simple yet profound spiritual practice. It helps you recognize what's already good, while also transforming negative emotions, nurturing compassion, and opening the heart. Every time you feel grateful and full, you are taking one step closer to awakening. Final message: life is a journey, not a race. Slow down and live each moment fully. Your mind creates the world you live in. When you transform within, your life transforms too. Happiness is available now. Don't wait to have enough to be happy. Practice gratitude and enjoy the present. Be gentle with yourself. Let go of harsh judgments and allow yourself to rest, to make mistakes, to be real. Each day is a new opportunity. You can always begin again, with a calm mind, a grateful heart, and loving presence. Coming home to yourself, that is the path to true peace and freedom.